Hi guys, it's me Lily. I'm back. I'm having a bad day. No, I thought it would be fun to just do some makeup with you guys and have a little kiki, if you will. So one of my biggest I'm using the Rimmel something foundation in the shade orange because it's bright freaking orange. So one of my biggest issues at the moment has been my internet anxiety in regards to my newfound passion here. I've been getting a little bit anxious, which I guess is normal, but also it's annoying me a lot. I've just been like getting a little bit anxious about my digital footprint, which is wild considering the stuff that's already like about me and the stuff that's already mine that's on the internet. Like I've got nothing to worry about. Like the worst has been done. Like I was a Musical.ly kid, you know what I mean? Also, I'm using this. This is a stand for my diffuser that I got for my birthday. It is rose gold and I can't see the color, so if I end up looking like rose gold, mind your business. I am kind of channeling Reputation a little bit with this look. This look is a little bit Reputation-esque. Like I'm definitely a Swiftie and she is coming to Australia. One of my besties is going and it's honestly very depressing because I wish I was going. So I'm kind of channeling a bit of Reputation in honor of my lack of Eras Tour tickets. It's like I've been in the game, but like for how long, you know? I grew up listening to Taylor Swift like a lot. You know, I'm pretty sure we all did. But there was a phase where I wasn't that into her. And I've kind of recently in the last like year or two gone back on the Swiftie train and I don't regret it for a second, but I feel like I'm not worthy of getting these tickets. But anyway, I'm not going and that makes me sad. Also, the bestie who I mentioned that is going to the Eras Tour is sending me anti-Barb propaganda. I don't want to talk about it. It's a really hard time to be a Barb. Don't get it twisted, I love Meg. I like Meg. I think she's so fabulous, like so beautiful. And like I like her style of rap. But like I'm a Barb and I can't do anything about that. But sometimes there's wrong and sometimes there's right. And I refuse to say who's wrong and who's right because I'm a Barb. And it's just like I choose to avoid. Like my client is not answering any more questions. That's really white. It's been really hard for me to like be on the internet and keep hearing all this like Nicki slander, like people taking down their Nicki flags and stuff, and it's like no, like you know when one of your faves kind of just digs the grave like a little bit deeper for them, it really just hurts. Like I truly have a parasocial relationship with Miss Minaj. You know, like that's okay, that's all fun and fresh until she's in the trenches. Then I am in fact in the trenches by proxy. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this look. Like it's very Reputation coded. I'm very big on putting like color in my eyes. I don't know if that's the vibe though. Look, I was a makeup child. I was in fact a Sephora kid. Oh, hold on. I was like jumping around with like freaking Kylie Cosmetics on my Christmas list at the age of 11. Like that's kind of crazy. So on paper, I should know how to contour. What else did I love? Oh, I loved Too Faced by held together by a hair tie. I loved Too Faced and I loved Kylie Cosmetics and there was another one, Anastasia Beverly Hills. Again, held together by a hair tie, but truly the best highlighters ever. Not for my skin tone though, so I can literally only use one and I use it in the inner corner of my eye. It's fine, the rest make a nice eyeshadow I guess. But I was like, oh my god, yeah, everyone's got like this sugar palette. I don't even know what it's called. And I bought it and I was running around with it like on my cheekbones and on my nose and people were like, what's wrong with you? Because it literally just looked like icing and not in a good way. Because I was a very brown child with like this pure white or like very light baby pink like highlighter on my nose. And it's been very hard for me as a teenage girl to transition into the clean girl, like tinted moisturizer type B. Like I feel like I definitely love a full coverage. I don't wear it every day just because like ew, like I work retail, like I don't need to. I don't know, you can't take it out of me. Like you can take the girl out of 2016 but you can't take the 2016 out of the girl. If I'm being completely honest, There's not been much on lately. Life's just been kind of meh, you know. I do have a festival in like a week now that I'm very excited for. It is an Australian festival and I get to see some faves. I get to see Ray, which I'm unbelievably excited for. I cannot wait to see her. And I get to see Dope Lemon. There's a few others like Dominic Fike and Stormzy and stuff. It's gonna be really good. It's a little bit ghosty, but I feel like the cream contour helped me out because I'm just like a makeup baddie. No, but I was like completely entrenched in that culture, especially at like 13, like 10, 11, 12, 13. Like that was the place to be.
Sucking dick and cock. Like I'm just like, oh my god. Time and place.
I would always watch like makeup YouTubers like Jeffree Star. I would have gone to war for him. He was also like a little bit of a delinquent child, so his other merchandise was very appealing to me as well. Someone left this palette at my house. I know I sound like a klepto, but oftentimes these are people who have wronged me, and it's like if you leave something at my house, it's mine, like no backseat. This little one could be cute. I also have my ABH Novena. Is it Novena? I don't even know. Palette that's a bit busted and crusted, but she's got a cute green. She has a dark green, but it's very pigmented. I'm scared to use it. I need like this color green, and I don't know if I have it. I do. I have it in this Chi Chi palette. This Chi Chi palette that I possibly stole when I was 12. I want the record to show that I am a good person. I really am. Like, I have done rehabilitation. I was a very nasty teenager and child, but you know, I'm different. I've grown. So maybe I stole a palette from Target. Move on. Get over it. What's this whole thing about makeup expiring? If makeup expires, I am 100% sure that all of my makeup is expired. I mean, the color's nice. Like 11-year-old Lily knew what she was doing, but at what cost? I mean, is it bad? I've got like an unhealthy obsession with Jacob Elordi at the moment. I've had one for about 2 years, but it just seems to be getting worse. Let me tell you, I love that man. And I know everyone does, I know I'm not special, but let me tell you that this man is Australian. And any gorgeous person who is Australian has a special place in my heart. Margot Robbie, I am speaking to you directly. I love that he's like in every single movie at the moment. Like he was in Saltburn and Priscilla in another one where he plays like a serial killer that I hear nobody talking about. I haven't seen the serial killer movie or Priscilla. I really want to watch Priscilla, but I haven't seen it like anywhere in Australia, but everyone in America's watched it, which makes me so mad, jealous and bitter. But I truly love him. I think he's a very talented actor, and I'm glad he's not just being typecast as like the generic hot guy. Like he's getting characters with more substance. Because like I watched him in Saltburn, and I know that Australian accent is hard to kick. Trust me, I know. It is heavy. But he did an amazing job. Like he did so well and like really seamlessly blended into like the UK accent. And I know some UK baddies are gonna be like, no, Lily, he flopped. But I don't think he did. Like as an Australian, they're very different accents, and I think he did really well. Maybe he just has pretty privilege, but I think he's a really good actor, and I loved the movie. I unfortunately knew like a lot about it before I even watched it. I really tried not to, but like all my friends were talking about it and it was all over the internet. It was very hard to avoid. Obviously, spoiler alert. But like all the twists and turns and stuff were just like very intriguing to me. Like, I knew what was gonna happen, that he was like a psycho and like killed everyone, but I didn't know how. The whole cast in it was honestly amazing. I'm like obsessed with who plays his mother. What's her name? I forgot her name, but I'm like obsessed with her. She's like so beautiful and fabulous.
You know I'ma get to the back, or the hand bitch to the back.
It's one of my faves. Everything about it is very interesting, but I feel like they did miss the mark a little bit in terms of I didn't know if the movie really had a message, which not every movie needs a message. I did expect like a bit more of a message, and that's where I thought it was going, with this poor guy who's got no money, who's been like treated poorly like his whole life. I thought it was gonna be like this class revenge thing, and it kind of wasn't, because we found out he was like upper middle class, and obviously there's a big difference between that and like Felix's generational wealth. It doesn't really like tack on a motive And like we didn't see him with like kids or anything. Like, why the need for generational wealth if you're already not poor and you don't have like kids? I just found it weird. But also maybe that's the point. Maybe he's just crazy and we don't need to justify it, because there are people like that. I don't know, it was interesting, but it definitely left me thinking for a while. I've watched it twice now. I've watched it once by myself and once with my sister. But yeah, she brought to my attention that there were definitely just some gaps. Like I said, like a revenge story is all cute and all, but are you really like playing the long game for, what was it, like 15 years? Like, you played the long game. Like, you're just gonna mess with this guy's bike tire and like know that in 15 years that leads to you like living in his mansion. I loved like how it was shot and stuff, and I loved like Venetia as a character and most of them as characters. Definitely some holes in terms of like, now how'd you know? Also, real quick, am I the only person who didn't notice the grave scene? The other scenes, look, I take issue with, but it's also like whatever, you know, like it's a bit like whatever. The vampire scene was jail. Extremely jail. Not to kink shame, but jail. The bathtub scene, nasty as hell. But the nastiest bit is not the slurping of said water, it is the licking of said drain. But I didn't notice the grave scene until I watched it the second time around, and I was like, there's no way. Because I remember thinking the first time I watched it, I was like, he's gonna do that. He is about to go nasty on that grave. And then he didn't, and I was like, oh my god, slay. But then I watched it the second time and I was like, oh, he did in fact go nasty on the grave. So that was interesting. And the fact that that was just his free will, like as an actor, is even more interesting. I don't know if I would want to take credit for that as an actor. I'd be like, yeah, I thought of that all on my own. Is that something you want to admit? You know, but I respect it. No, but I'm really struggling, like as a barb lately. I'm obviously never gonna turn against my queen, but I'm just worried about her. Like, I'm really worried about her. I am having some really bad thoughts. Me and my parasocial relationship, I'm like worried that maybe she's on something or that something bad's gonna happen, because it seems like she's struggling a bit mentally, which is fair. Like, I am a very empathetic person when it comes to like mental illness and addiction. Like, I definitely understand, but it just makes me a little bit worried and a little bit scared for Mother Minaj. The rest of the internet isn't really having that same level of empathy. I just think we need to play it a bit nicer and be a bit kinder to like everyone in the situation. I do think crossing a line with someone's dead mum is beyond awful, and no one deserves that. I'm worried about Nikki at the moment. It just makes everything better. I love this palette. I'm not like the biggest Fenty Beauty like advocate. I'm kind of indifferent to them. I got like that big like dark blue like hexagonal what? I don't know if it's a hexagon. I don't know if it's hexagonal, whatever the that is. It's like a big like dark blue spacey palette that I can't be bothered getting right now, that I have, and I'm kind of indifferent to it. Like, the shade range just isn't cute. I literally just use it for my eyebrows because there's like a dark brown. But this little bad boy here, what is it? It's number 8 of like the mini palettes, is the best. Like, I'm using this little green guy, but this little like aqua blue situation is the most like flattering color for brown eyes I've ever seen in my life. It looks so pretty. And I went to buy one for my sister last night. I was like hopping on my little Sephora app trying to buy one because there's a birthday coming up and I know she loves her lovely bright colors, and I couldn't find it. I don't know if that's just Sephora online or if they like discontinued it, but I was kind of like devoed because this is the second that I've had of this palette. I broke the first one accidentally, of course, and I was like, you know what, I can't live without it. Like, I simply cannot. And I went and bought it, and it's like the best thing I've ever done. It was only like 35 bucks too, which to me is ridiculous. I know it's only 6 shades, but like, it's fierce. Maybe it's just like a brown girl thing, but like these colors work so well. Very creamy, and buttery and soft and nice. Yeah, I'm not the biggest like Fenty Beauty girl. I know my sister really loves like the primer and the foundation. I don't know, it's just not my vibe, not my energy. I don't know what to do. I've kind of backed myself into a corner with the green, and now I just have to keep rolling with me on my way to make my makeup look even worse with a dark forest green. Oh, I'm scared. I mean, right? I'm pretty sure this look is like past the point of saving. Also, yeah, I'm going nowhere dressed like this. Like, I'm literally wearing trackies. I was gonna lie and say, look, I'm going out. I'm going to an event. And it's like, no, baby, it is like 3 o'clock. It is 3 o'clock on a Thursday. We're not going anywhere right now. I actually really enjoy doing my makeup, and I always have. Apparently practice doesn't make perfect, because what? I wonder if Saltburn was a book. I'm sure I could Google that, right? So apparently Saltburn isn't a book, which sucks because I would honestly love to read it. And I thought that would be a good segue to talk about. Have been trying to get back into reading, so I just realized how orange this contour is. Oh my god, I look like a birthday clown. There is no way. There is absolutely no way. Oh my god. Imagine if I was going out. Imagine the pressure and the stress. I've been thinking about getting back into reading. I grew up a very like, I don't know what I was gonna say. Like a big reader. I grew up a big reader. That was me as a small child. Little Lily. Big reader. But I loved to read as a kid. I don't know why I'm trying to talk while I'm doing this. My mom always read like heaps. There was always heaps of books in the house. She wasn't really big on TV, so like if you were bored, it was like, go read a book, you know? And as a child, I hated it. Like, I hated that rule. As an adult, I understand it. Like, trying to minimize screen time and whatnot. I remember the first book. No, I don't know if I want to talk about this. I feel like I'm gonna get like massive slander. But the first book I like kind of fell in love with was Divergent. And if you have a problem with that, mind your business, because honestly, as a 9-year-old, I loved that book so much. I'm talking, I read the whole thing in probably like 2 weeks, like the whole series. My mom had come home with an Xbox, which was a very big deal. I was 9, we were very poor. She had come home with an Xbox, and I was in the middle of reading the last book, and I couldn't put it down. She's like, go play the Xbox. I'm like, no, like I cannot. Spoiler alert, that's the one where Tris dies. Let me tell you, I love a book where they're not afraid. I love a book or a movie where they're not afraid to kill off the main character or characters. I think that stuff's so fierce. It's fierce. They killed off the main character. Done. Donezo. Fierce. So good. Couldn't wait for it to be like adapted into a movie. And then they messed around and flopped so hard with the second and third movie that the fourth one was never to be seen, and that broke my little 9-year-old heart. If I ever become a big budget director, guess what I'm doing? I'm making Allegiant. Allegiant Part 2 is all me. I want to get back into reading. I've got so many books. Like, I think about a year ago I started buying like my own books and stuff. There's a very cute like charity shop near where I live, and they've got very cheap books that are in very good condition. I bought a few there. I bought this book called Forgiveness and Other Acts of Love that I've probably read like a few pages of, but I really do love it. It's a bit of a dense read though. I bought a Russell Brand memoir. That was before everything happened, but I still would like to read it, if I'm honest. Like, hear about someone's like stories with addiction and fame and stuff is very intriguing to me. Yeah, I've read probably like 1 page of that. The English, like, I don't know why I didn't expect this because of the way he speaks, but maybe I just thought he would have like a writer doing it for him, but you can 100% tell he wrote it himself. Like, the UK slang is just rabid, like all through it. It's just feral UK slang. Not that it's feral, I'm just saying, like, it's a feral amount of UK slang. I would love to read you a page from the book, but I can't because it's at my man who's not my man's house. Like, I also jumped online and I bought The Stepford Wives. after watching like the original movie. I thought that would be really good, and it's a super small book, so I think that might be the book to like kickstart me back, you know, because I've got a very short attention span. I also ended up buying The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes after watching The Hunger Games. I love a book to movie. I love a book to movie adaptation. Like, I really do. I wish I knew how to do fake eyelashes. I've never worn a fake lash, and that's not pick me vibes. That's just fake makeup girly vibes. Like, I've never worn one. I own them, I just don't know how to put them on, and they scare me. I've also never had extensions. They also scare me, but they look so pretty when they're done right. I just run around for most of my life with like chode lashes because I don't like to wear mascara every day ever since the incident. So I woke up with like this eye feeling a little bit funky today, and I was so scared. I was like, if I wake up with another droopy eye, I'm gonna have a meltdown. But I think it's fine. It's fine. This look is fine. It's okay. I can't believe I'm using this as a mirror. This is rose gold. Rose gold. Be for real. I actually cannot wait for my festival. I cannot wait. I have not been to like a festival since New Year's, and I wouldn't even call that like a festival. It was just a New Year's thing, but like a festival with a nice juicy lineup where you love everyone who's gonna be there. You're gonna be there for like 12 hours. Like, I love me one of those. Lying in my bed, and I just realized that I literally had one earring in. One! Ew! But also very Devo that I can't rock up to the Eras tour looking like this. Maybe I'm doing the world a favor. I don't know. Angelina. Lips like Angelina. Okay, maybe not lips like Angelina, but we're getting somewhere. I am in fact one of those girls that will like hit you with one of these. Like, the back of my hand always looks a mess. Like kiss marks and like little splotches of foundation and concealer. I didn't do my eyebrows. I actually can't be bothered. Hold my eyebrows sleep. But this is the look. Thank you for having a little chat with me. I know it wasn't exactly a tutorial, but I just thought it'd be nice to have a little makeup and rant, you know? Thanks for watching.